Hey, what's up, guys? So today we're going to be talking about John Wick Chapter 2, and I hate to admit it, but I literally saw this movie like 3 weeks ago, but I've been so busy traveling and just not home that I have not had time to film my reaction video. And the best part about this was I actually did watch it while I was in New York City. I went to the AMC by Times Square to watch it. And it actually was really cool because a lot of the movie takes place in New York City. So you're seeing a lot of, so as soon as you get out of the movie, you're seeing a lot of the places you just saw in the movie, you know? It was pretty cool for me. And aside from that, you know, he went to Rome in this movie, and I went to Rome last year, and I got to see all the places he went. Granted, I couldn't go in the catacombs and unlock all the chains and, you know, sneak around, but I did get to see a lot of the cool aerial shots. They showed, like, obviously the Vatican. They showed a lot of the ruins. They showed the Colosseum. They showed a lot of really cool stuff. And I'd been there. I had seen all those things, so it was really cool for me. But I do want to say something really quick. So the wife and I were trying to find a movie to watch this weekend, and Constantine just happened to be on, and it's a movie obviously with Keanu Reeves, and the dude's name is John Constantine, and I swear, like, if I hadn't seen this movie in a long time, his character in John Constantine literally could be John Wick. They dress the same, they act the same. Granted, Keanu acts, you know, the same in a lot of his movies, but like, the characters had so much in common, and then even to the point to where John Constantine knew, like, the special club that he could go to where basically all the other monsters and demons and half-breeds could go to, and it was like a safe spot. And it was very similar to the Continental in John Wick, where basically all the hitmen and bad guys and whatever, anybody in the game could go to the Continental, you know, anywhere in the world where there was one, and it was a safe zone where there was absolutely no fighting. So I saw some similarities between the two movies that I thought was pretty interesting, and I wonder if they pulled a lot of that from John Constantine to create this John Wick character. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to ask me, did I like this movie better than the first one, and how good was it? And so, the way I've been saying it to my friends was basically like this. It was better than John Wick Chapter 1, but it was only better than the first movie because the first movie was so good, if that makes sense. Like, if the first movie sucked, the second movie probably would have sucked too, you know? But the first movie was so good and set up the character so well that it actually made the second movie even better. Like, they just continued the action, and they just probably had a bigger budget too, and they just made it really big and awesome. And I mean, the movie starts out, obviously, he's looking for his Mustang, and I'm sitting there in the movie theater watching him infiltrate it. You know, he calls the dude, he's like, whatever, Machina, like, you have my car, and everyone's just freaking out about it. And like, that banter between, like, the mob boss and, like, his goons, he's like, he did all this for a car. Like, what do you think he's gonna do if we just give it back, you know? So he's infiltrating, he's killing everyone. And what I really appreciated about the movie, now obviously you guys know that Keanu did a lot of the stunts himself. He did a lot of these things himself, and he is an amazing actor, amazing action actor. But like, there were some new ways he killed people that I hadn't quite seen before. Right in the beginning, he gets behind the guy and like covers his mouth and pulls the cigarette inside and then pops two in his back and then pushes the dude and he spits the cigarette out the camera. I thought that was awesome. Then there was another scene where he's got the dude, grabs him by like his ponytail and pulls it down and just pops him in the head. That was a cool way to kill somebody. And then like throughout the whole movie, every single person he killed was one to the chest, one to the head, one to the chest, one to the head. And even his movements when he was walking around, like most movies where they're walking with a gun, they kind of walk straight and they're just kind of doing this, where he's just like all about what he's doing, checking his gun, checking his scopes, checking his ammo. Like, they went really into detail, and for me, for a moviegoer like me, I appreciate that kind of stuff, you know? But back to that car scene, I mean, I don't know about you guys, I'm a car guy, I have a Camaro that I love just as much as John loves his Mustang, and every single time that Mustang got hit by a cab, like, I felt it inside. I'm like, no, not the Shelby, like, not the rear end, not, like that car got hit from every angle. Like, it was such an intense scene. The whole fight went down. Then he's getting chased, loses a door, you know, and then he drives home, which, first of all, that car would have never started, would have never made it home, you know. Wouldn't have started, would have definitely not made it home. Gets it home, and then John Leguizamo shows up, and he's like, can you fix it? He's like, yeah, by Christmas, or I forget what he said. It's been too long, but, you know, in my mind, after watching the movie, you know, we didn't see him get his car back. So I bet you Chapter 3 is going to have, like, this nice scene where he meets up with John Leguizamo, and then he gets his Mustang back, and it looks amazing. It's probably going to take them up until John Wick Chapter 3 to fix that damn car, to be honest with you, you know. But anyway, so it's pretty sick. And so I knew it was going to take me a few weeks to do this video review. In the movie, I knew it was going to be epic. Friends told me it was amazing. So I did take some notes of some things that I liked as I was watching it. So like some of the parts I liked was when he was being told, like someone was being told the story about how he killed like 3 dudes in a bar with a pencil, and then the guy was like, if anything, the story was watered down from what really happened because John Wick's such a badass. And then we have the scene later in the movie where he does kill people with a pencil, and I was like, yes, this is awesome, you know? And he just does it, you know? People always, you know, after watching movies like this and Jason Bourne, I laugh when people think like a knife or like a hammer or like a club is a dangerous weapon. And I'm just like, I could stab you with a pencil before you even know what happened because you wouldn't expect it. Like that pencil to me, if I was walking towards you with a pencil, you'd think nothing of it. If I was walking towards you with a knife, you might be on your guard a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I think too. These movies have like corrupted our minds, you know? But anyways, so that was awesome. Some parts that were pretty intense, the Russian lady death scene where she's like, I want to die on my own terms, and she slit her own wrist, like that was really intense, you know. And even just like John's house, like that bad guy in this movie, I forgot his name already, but he was such a douchebag. I hated his ass. From the second he got to the house and he brought out like the blood pact, whatever the hell the thing was called, like, and John's like, I don't want to do it. And then he burns John Wick's house down. Like, does this guy live under a friggin' rock? Does he not know what just happened not too long ago in John Wick Chapter 1? To what happened to the people who friggin' killed his dog and stole his car? And you decide to burn his house to the ground and destroy everything he's ever known? All the photos of his dead wife, like... I knew he'd get the necklace back. I knew he would at least find that. I had a feeling. But, like, he destroyed this man's entire life. He's a killing machine. Nobody can touch him. He just wants to be left alone. And you think blowing up his house is going to make him, like, some obedient lapdog for you. Like, this guy was such a cocky friggin' prick that I could not wait for him to die. And they make you wait, obviously, till the end of the movie. But, you know, that's what kicks the whole thing off, is John is trying to follow the rules of the Continental, even though he doesn't want to. And the guy who runs the Continental is a badass. I forget his real name as an actor, but he's super cool. And he's like, finish the blood pact and then do whatever you want, basically. And he even tells the guy that. He's like, oh, whatever, you know, I have protection. But anyway, so that's where obviously the movie gets kicked off, and that's why he ends up going to Rome, because he has to kill the dude's sister, so he can become the new head boss, so he can control New York, and blah, 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 blah. You know, and it was nice to, I'm going to say Morpheus, you know, just because he'll always be Morpheus to me. It was nice to see Morpheus in the movie, and him and Keanu in the same scene, kind of in a similar aspect to where they're both, like, rebels fighting against, you know, a common enemy, which I thought was really cool. And that whole, like, you know, all the bums in New York are actually a part of this elite group of assassins that act like bums, but they really hold the keys to the city and, you know, do whatever they want. I thought that was really cool. I don't know about you guys, I thought that was really sick. So without recapping the whole movie, some other things I thought was pretty sick. Oh, so the white tunnel scene where they're walking and, like, taking shots at each other. I was like, nobody in the movie theater was laughing throughout this movie. Like, I was laughing at all these funny parts that were meant to be funny, you know, and they're like shooting at each other as they're walking through the tunnel. That was hilarious. And even that scene beforehand where they're fighting in the Continental in Rome. And what do they say? Oh, he goes, I'll pay for your drink, consider it a professional courtesy, you know? Then at the end of that tunnel scene, stabs him in the chest. He's like, the knife's in your aorta. Don't pull it out if you want to live. Consider it a professional courtesy. Like, we know we're going to see him in Chapter 3, too. Like, I thought that scene was absolutely hilarious. Like, there was so many fun scenes. And then, let's see what else I have here. Yeah, so, like, basically, you know, so going throughout the movie, like, those are some of my favorite parts. And then, obviously, we get towards the end, and he walks in. Oh, so when he drops his dog off, I loved all the scenes with his new dog. And I love how the dog doesn't have a name. And I'm thinking the whole movie, like, does he not want the dog to have a name because he doesn't know if he's going to get attached to the dog, or he knows he might die soon because he's tearing shit up so the dog doesn't have a name? Like, there's obviously some symbolism as to why the dog doesn't have a name, but the front desk clerk is, a lot of people, like, he doesn't have a big role in the movie, but a lot of people really like him, and I liked him too, and I liked how he's like, we don't allow dogs, but I'd be more than happy to take care of him myself. You know, like, that was really cool. And then when he goes back in and he shoots the guy in the face, which was awesome, but then he gets blacklisted, which is sick. Oh, when the hits were being called out on John in the beginning of the movie and at the end once he gets blacklisted, I thought it was really cool how they made it like this old-timey like telephone operator shop where they had to like move the wires and the plugs. Like, there was just so many really cool things to this movie that made it unique, you know? It wasn't like they called this place and it was like some super high-tech company that you would expect probably to be, and they had these super high-tech computers to place these hits and send out to everyone's cell phones. It was more just like, do the hit, and they're doing the stamping, you know? It's pretty cool. And anyway, so he gets the hit put on him at the end of the movie, and he's talking to the guy, and he's like, you have an hour or whatnot, and he starts running, and he has his dog, and that's where the movie ends. And you know, you start to wonder how many assassins actually live in New York City, because everybody was looking at him. And then even when he came home from Rome and he had a hit on him still from the main bad guy, you know, the lady with the violin, like all of these assassins just happened to be in the areas that he was traveling in. And that fight scene with the sumo guy was super funny too. Like, would he take like already took a knife to the head, he didn't die, then he had to get another bullet. Like, I thought that was kind of funny. But like, what is Chapter 3 gonna be like? He's basically now on the run. He has nowhere he can go for sanction. He's got people on his side, kinda. I don't know. Maybe the dude that he stabbed in the heart will kind of be on his side a bit. Maybe they have some mutual respect and they might work together. Obviously, the dude who runs the Continental feels bad because he really likes John and he wants John to survive. And that scene, John says, he's like, make sure you tell every single person who's coming after me, I will kill them. I will kill them all. Oh, Winston was the guy's name. I will kill them all, Winston. Like, that was pretty cool. And then at the end, they had this like scene where the doves were kind of being, you know, flown out of the coop. Did that represent John's freedom now from everything, now that he's out of everything? I mean, it's just crazy. Excommunicargo. That's what it was called for him. He's now excommunicargo. So, John Wick Chapter 3. We're going to see the Mustang I'm really excited about. Hopefully he'll have some new allies with him. Oh, and one thing I didn't touch upon, I don't know about you guys, I wasn't really feeling the chick who talked with sign language. I thought the banter back and forth was kind of funny. The banter back and forth when they're in the Continental in Rome was okay, but the fight scenes were really weak. Her character in general I thought was really weak. The only thing that made her kind of entertaining was the fact that she was able to do like sign language, and I did enjoy that whole scene where he was fighting all the dudes in the room with all the mirrors. Like, I always like movies where they incorporate the mirrors, and you know what's going to happen. You think you're somewhere else, but you're really over here and using the reflections to fight each other. Like, oh, that was cool, but I wasn't really feeling her. I was glad that she died and she's not making it into the next movie. I thought it was way more badass when he was fighting the other assassin who was protecting the Russian chick. And, I mean, that was more exciting to me than him fighting her or dealing with her. So, would love to know what you guys thought about the movie. Be sure to leave those comments down in the comment section below. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.